Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm Geeta Shroff, Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the meeting number 778 of Chennai Toastmasters Club. Dear fellow Toastmasters, let me enlighten you all with the mission of the Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way that the members are empowered to improve their communication skills and leadership qualities, thereby resulting in greater personality development and self-confidence. Here are a few ground rules for the meeting. I request you all to please keep your mobile phones on the silent mode. I also request you all to sit in a silent atmosphere so that there is no disturbance for anybody and even you can listen to the speaker well. It is also important for you all to refrain from speaking on the taboo topics such as sex, religion, and culture. I also request you all to please remain on mute. Kindly unmute yourself only when it is your turn to speak. It's also a humble request to the guests. Kindly rename yourself as guest so and so. It's easy for us to identify in such a manner. And last but not least, if you have any message to be passed across, please use the chat box below. With this, now it is time for me to hand over the control to our presiding officer. Our presiding officer for today's meeting is Toastmaster Abhilash. He is the president-elect of our CTM club, and he's a very passionate and an enthusiastic Toastmaster. You can even call him an all-rounder. He can just do multitasking and take care of so many other things. And to talk about his professional life, he's a chartered accountant by profession. With these few words, let me hand over the control to you, Toastmaster Abhilash. Over to you.
Thank you, Madam Sergeant at Arms, for those warm words of introduction. A very warm good evening to my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I declare meeting number 778 of Chennai Toastmasters Club open. Before we proceed with our meeting, so it is indeed a sad news that we are starting with that our fellow Toastmaster Tyagarajan had expired earlier in this week. So in memory of him, we will all be observing 1 minute of silence before we resume meeting proceedings. Request you all to please observe 1 minute of silence. Thank you all. Now we'll proceed to the meeting. I would like to recognize the presence of our area director, Toastmaster Nadira Faiz at our meeting, and our district leadership committee chair, distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. We welcome you. Thank you. So today, our Toastmaster of the day is a very young and passionate Toastmaster. He's a developer by profession, but by his one of his most favorite hobbies and interests is he's an avid cyclist and a professional racer. So without much ado, let me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Srijit Uni. Toastmaster Srijit Uni invite you to take us all forward with the theme of the day, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash, for this very, very warm welcome. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This is Srijit Uni. I'm pleased to meet you all as the Toastmaster of the day. Today's theme that I've picked is Save the Turtle. I've not picked this theme just because of the fact that today is the World Turtle Day. I picked this theme because we've all had our trysts with this very mystical creature for a very, very long time. Be it the form of a very humdrum moral which says slow and steady wins the race from the hare and the turtle story, or be it from, if you grew up in a Hindu household, you would have heard about Kurma Avatar. It's an incarnation of an Indian Hindu god. And trust me, this mythical creature has found its way into a lot of folklore, which includes the Greek, the Roman, the African, and even the Egyptian mythology. Thus, we can very safely say that humans have been fascinated and obsessed with this creature for very, very long years. Just when you feel like this turtle obsession has been chasing humanity for all these years, we seldom fail to realize that these creatures are being pushed to extinction by our very own activities. Let's talk more about this over the course of the meeting and see what we can do as individuals to save them. Before we move on to the meeting, for the benefit of the guests present here, I would like to give you a brief preface of what CTM and what it stands for. Toastmasters is an education organization where people come together to build various skill sets. It helps people advance professionally and even personally. CTM is Chennai's oldest Toastmasters club. It has a melange of wonderful, wonderful speakers, very experienced, and a lot of young firepower, making this the place to be. Now, moving on to the proceedings, I would like to call upon the General Evaluator of the day. This team is the quality control team of today's meeting. Today's General Evaluator is Toastmaster Nanda. He works as a technical manager at Cisco Systems and joined CTM in 2019. He's a very serious looking Toastmaster, but you feel really, really encouraged to be around him. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Nanda sir, you are
Toastmaster Nanda, you're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for the very warm welcome. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So if you all look back in life, in whatever we do, we all would like to excel, right? It may be in studies or sports or in work and whatever, we would like to excel and succeed. And we all look to be appreciated by your peers, by parents, and by the society in general. But to excel, the most important thing is to see how we have done something. So to see how we have done something, the most important thing is feedback. We need to get feedback from our colleagues, from your peers, from your managers, from your friends, etc. and etc. The feedback is the most important thing or the fulcrum of growth, I would say. Without feedback, we would never know that whether we are on a right path or whether we are moving towards a goal. Because we might always think that we are right or we are doing the right thing in life to move forward. But actually, it may be counterproductive. We might have think that we are giving a fabulous speech, but what others think about the speech might be completely different. So feedback is the most important thing to move forward in life and do something with excellent and quality work. And as a general evaluator, my role today is to completely observe this meeting from the first word to the last word and provide me honest feedback about how things went and where we could improve as a club. So to assist me, I have two set of teams. The first team is the TAC team, and next is the speech evaluation team. It's time to introduce the TAC team. A timer role for today in the TAC team is played by Ayush Jain. Ayush Jain is doing his computer science engineering in Satyabama University, and he is a passionate. Don't believe that he's passionate about cars, especially sports cars and luxury cars. So please put your hand together and welcome Toastmaster Ayush Jain. Ayush, please read your project objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluators. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to the specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush. In today's meeting, the next role, our counter role, is played by Toastmaster Vignesh. Toastmaster Vignesh works as a hardware application engineer in a leading chipset manufacturing company, Qualcomm Solutions. Apart from work, Vignesh loves to read books, listening to music, and is very passionate about Toastmastering. Vignesh, please reach out to your project objectives.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Nanda, for your kind introduction. Good evening, all. Well, how do I say? Basically, like, but irritating, right? I'll be the R counter for today's meet. I will count the filler words such as and then inappropriate interjections such as so, but, like kind of words. I will share my report at the end of the meeting when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vignesh. The next role for today, the grammarian role, is played by Toastmaster Mugil. Toastmaster Mugil works as a senior scientific application analyst in Ziffo R&D Solutions. Apart from work, she loves to do a lot of painting and try different world cuisines herself. Toastmaster Mugil, please share your project objectives.
Toastmaster Nanda. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian today, if I were to say I could care less about grammar or something as absurd as the old man the boot, you would all probably think I've lost it a bit. Today, along the meeting, I would be noting down incorrect usage of grammar, such as I could care less, and absolutely correct and interesting use of grammar, such as the old man the boat. And also, I give to you all the word of the day, clutch, which you can probably find in vehicles such as cars and bikes to change gears, or it could also refer to what you're holding on when you're holding on tightly to something, especially when you're anxious. And in aligned with the theme of the day, it also refers to a group of like eggs laid by a turtle. Have fun with the word of the day, and I'll be back to present my grammarian report towards the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mugil. So I have another set of team to assist in evaluations called speech evaluators. I will introduce them after the prepared speech sessions. Looking forward to great, fabulous meeting number 778. Over to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster CG.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, for this very wonderful, very well-equipped team. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you at the end of the meeting. So now going forward, let's hear from our court master for today, Toastmaster Gopalakrishnan. He's a new Toastmaster and he's a wonderful swimmer. I find it really, really apt for today's theme of the day too. Over to you, court master. We are ready for your gyan. Your voice is not clear, Gopal. It's still not audible. Can you please try some of the source? Can you please?
Is it audible?
Yes, but it's still not audible. Can you talk now?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So, welcome on all Toastmasters. I'm here to present to you the quote of the day. There's a famous saying, fall 7 times and stand up 8. This proverb fits 100% to Mr. Soichiro Honda. Mr. Honda used to work at his father's bicycle repair workshop at the age of 15, where he developed an interest in designing the piston rings for a car. Once Honda had developed a revolutionary piston ring, he excitedly took it to Honda to show them his design, but he was rejected by the management, and many people started laughing at him and asked him if he even knew what he was doing. And after 2 years of research and development, he prepared 3 lakh designs for engine pistons, out of which just 50 were said okay, and out of which just 3 were selected for the final production by the Toyota management. But in order to produce, he had to build a factory. And he then built the factory after overcoming many obstacles. And when it was ready for production, the factory was bombed. Not once, but twice. Still, he would not quit. Honda took more loans and made use of whatever available, and he finally built the factory again. It was time for production, and finally, it was time for his dream to come true. But came the massive earthquake that completely wiped out the Honda manufacturing plants. How much more could a man possibly take? Even after this incident, Honda did not give up his hope and started thinking of putting engines in a bicycle to make it a motorcycle. But he was already in huge debts. So, in order to gain more capital, he wrote an inspiring note to 18,000 of the stockists, out of which 3,000 responded. And with the help of the stockists, he built his first bike called the Super Cub, which was a major hit. With success in Japan, Honda started exporting these bikes to Europe and America. After Super Club, there was no looking back for Honda. Over time, the name of Honda becomes synonymous with motorcycles, and now Honda employs over 2 lakh employees across the globe, making 10 billion of net income per year and has a net worth of $150 billion. It was all made possible through one man's sheer determination in the face with unimaginable odds. Can you imagine what he must have gone through sleeping in a small workshop with no money, having sold his wife's jewelry, or seeing his factory destroyed for the third time? All in all, his journey to success took 17 years. My fellow Toastmasters always remember this famous quote from Honda: success is 99% failures. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopal. It was a very relevant speech to each and every one of us because we run our own races day in and day out. So next, I would like to call upon the idiom master of the day, Toastmaster Ashwini. She's a prosthodontist working in a private hospital. She's a new Toastmaster. I'm very eager to hearing from her. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwini.
Thank you for the warm introduction, T.A. Bodhi Srijit Oni. So based on the theme, I would like to have the idiom of the day as turn turtle. So before going to the meaning of the usage of the term turn turtle, let me give you some interesting facts about turtle. Turtle has got an average lifespan of about 100 to 200 years, and it is one of the long-living animals among the reptile family. But you know what? Occasionally, what happens is because of the large plastics, the huge amount of plastics that the humans dumps into the sea, as well as maybe because of frogs, the turtles get entangled and sometimes they turn over, they flip over, that is, they turn their back. And because of this, their hard shell is not able to protect them and they are immobile and they become more vulnerable, they become helpless. And unfortunately, if they're not flipped over, they die. So this idiom, turn turtle, means turning upside down and be in a vulnerable state. So let me give you a few examples of this idiom, turn turtle. We all happened to witness the storm Tukte last week that happened in Mumbai. Many of the houses and cars turned turtle in its fate. Let me also give you another example. We all know the huge and famous Titanic. It hit a huge iceberg and it turned turtle, and the only one to save and tell us the story was the famous heroine Rose. So I hope we will all use the idiom turn turtle in the following conversation and speech. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Srijit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwini, for this very relevant and wonderful idiom for today. Next, I would like to move on to the prepared speech section of the day. People have put in a lot of work to get here, and it's our privilege to welcome them on stage. The first speaker for today will be Toastmaster Rohit. He's a very passionate equity market investor. And from the interactions I've had with him, I feel like he's a very amiable person. Before we bring upon Toastmaster Rohit to give his speech, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Ratika, to read out his speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Ratika.
Sorry, I was not prepared. I got lost. 1 second. Yeah. So Toastmaster Rohit is presenting a speech from Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Project 2. And his project objective, the purpose of his project is for Toastmaster Rohit to present a speech on any topic and to receive the feedback and apply the feedback to his second speech. This is his first speech in this project. The title of the speech is Think About Tomorrow, and his time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Rohit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratika. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Rohit to give a speech. Toastmaster Rohit, think about tomorrow. Toastmaster Rohit, think about tomorrow. Over to you.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift of God, which is why we call it present. Oh, so boring. I know many of you would be thinking like this because you've heard this thousands of times. But I also know that many of you believe that this quote means just live in today and forget about tomorrow. And that's the misconception I would like to clear today. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. All of us want to live a happy life. Not only happy day, happy month, happy year, but happy life. For that, we need to be happy today and happy tomorrow. Today's happiness is at times marred by financial worries about future. What if I lose my job? What if I meet with an accident? Will I be able to afford higher education for my kids? Etc., etc., etc. And the best way to take care of these financial worries is to plan for it. That is savings. So when Bill Kahn wrote this quote, all he meant was don't worry about future, but use today's gift to better plan for tomorrow's mystery. However, nowadays I see exactly opposite trend. People in their quest for living for today spend their tomorrow's income also today. Buying that car on EMI, going on a holiday on EMI, even buying your iPhone on EMI. Now there's nothing wrong in spending on any of these things if you can afford it with today's income. But when you borrow for these, not only you incur high interest cost, but you also invite worries about servicing EMI. And you are falling into a perpetual debt trap. Let me explain. When you buy that rupees 80,000 iPhone on a 24-month rupees 4,000 EMI, you pay roughly 15% interest. But after 2 years, that iPhone is 2 generations old, and you upgrade to a newer iPhone and the EMI restarts and the cycle continues. There's a better way. You can save the same rupees 4,000 every month for 2 years and use your savings to buy that iPhone. You would have avoided all the debt worries and you will have some savings left to buy some accessory also. I'm not saying all the borrowings are bad, but when you borrow for any depreciable asset, think twice. People tell me, oh, I really want to save, but I can't. Why? I don't earn enough. For people like this, legendary investor Warren Buffett has advised, save. Don't save what's left after spending. Spend what's left after saving. Essentially, have a saving goal and accord it highest priority and manage your expenses in the balance. To save, you don't need high income. You just need determination. Many years back, I had a maid who used to make rupees 800 per month. And with that, she used to take care of her family's expenses. Neither her drunkard husband nor her kids showed any inclination to boost family income and help her. I used to persuade her to save something for herself for emergencies, and she did something remarkable. She took additional work at my home for rupees 200 per month and asked me to help her save that amount. I opened a recurring deposit account for her at a nearby bank branch for rupees 200 per month and used to deposit that amount every month in her account. After a year, the saving mindset was so ingrained in her that when she received maturity proceeds from her recurring deposit, she did a long-term fixed deposit of that amount. Now, if she can save, you can definitely do it. This current COVID crisis is a wake-up call to get all our priorities right, including financial priorities. Just imagine if you had lost your job when the crisis struck with no savings to fall back on. So my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, think about tomorrow. You have to spend more time there than present. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Brody.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit, for this very informative speech. I think it really fit your job profile a lot. And for the guests out there, see if you can join Toastmasters, you'll get free financial advice from people like Rohit. So for the next speaker for today, we have Toastmaster Satya Raj. He's a I got muted, sorry.
Sorry.
He's a senior software engineer and he's very enthusiastic about natural farming. And before I bring upon Toastmaster Satya Raj to give a speech, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Srikanth Kotikrishnan, to read out his speech objectives. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Sydney. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, Toastmaster Satya Raj is presenting his Icebreaker Speech. His speech has a duration of 4 to 6 minutes. The objective of Toastmaster Satya Raj's speech is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. I wish Toastmaster Satya Raj all the very best. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Day, Srijit Urni.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth Kotikrishnan. Let me call upon Toastmaster Satya Raj to deliver his speech. All the best for your first Icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Satya Raj, my countdown starts. Toastmaster Satya Raj, my countdown starts. Over to you.
3, 2, 1, 0. I was successfully landed on the earth in 1988 on June 23rd. At this moment, once again, I want to thank my mom and dad for giving me a great opportunity in the competitive world. Very good evening, Toastmaster and guest. When I was 5 years old, one day my father came to me and handed a new shirt and a pack of chocolate without any clue. I wore the shirt and curiously was about to open the chocolate box. My father stopped me. He took me to a new strange place where I had never visited earlier. There were many Toms in the room. One Tom asking me, "Can you touch your ear?" Then I tried to touch my ear. Another Tom said, "Not directly, over the head to other side of the ear." I did very easily. I was announced as eligible for admission for the first standard. This is how my education journey started. But studying was not so easy as my admission. In a few days, I got promoted to last bench student. I used to go to school and to eat my mom given food and return to home. It was my routine job. I had been within the 3 ranks in my class, but you needed to count the rank from reverse. If you take a list of average students, I would be the average of average students. Somehow I secured in 58 in 10th and 63 in 12th. After completing my schooling, I joined a Bachelor of Computer Science in Arranjar Anna Government Arts College from Cheyyar. Here started a little interest in my academic and computer programming. I successfully completed my undergraduate degree course with a 71%. Later, I joined Master of Computer Application and I completed my post-graduation. To support my family to meet the financial problem, I came to Chennai looking for a job. I had visited many firms and giving my resumes, but nothing happened. I did not lose my confidence. I kept on searching. Finally, I got 2 offers. One was about programming job. It's suiting my interest, but less salary. Another one was high salary, but content editing and image processing. Don't think 30K, 50K. It is 8K and 13K job. I picked the one I loved. Later, I learned Java program and improved my knowledge and experience, then jump into another company. In this company, I had been working for 6 years on various challengeable projects and clients. In this organization, I got Best Incomer Award, the Best Performer of the Year Award, and the Best Volunteer of Curriculum Team. Last year, April, I joined a senior software engineer and IoT consultant for one of the startup company. In 2018, I got married. My wife is homemaker and I have 1 kid. As far as my hobby is concerned, I am much interested in organic agriculture and self-sustainable lifestyle living. In the weekend, I support my parents in agriculture work in our land. We are running the IoT Gigs organization in Chennai. We organize IoT events learning for rural and urban. During this pandemic, we suspended all the event activities. My future goal is to become an entrepreneur. I want to achieve the goal. I want to own my communication and leadership skill. After many inquiries and search, I found a Toastmaster is the right platform to own my skill. Now, I have already paved my path as a leadership skill in being upcoming Sergeant at Arms. Today, I kickstarted my communication journey also with this icebreaker speech. I am looking forward to support all yours in future. Thank you. Over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satya Raj. It really fascinates me on the kind of stories that CTM brings together and all the diverse people from such diverse background that it gets together. And for the next speaker for the day, we have Toastmaster Ratika. She's a hardware engineer in Siemens. She plays badminton and she very comfortably skipped her ukulele playing part for me in my introduction. It just shows how much talent that she carries. Before I call upon Toastmaster Ratika, I would like to call upon her evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Dina John, to read out her speech objectives. Over to you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Srijit. I think I am the evaluator, right?
I'm sorry, I think there was a mix-up. Can I please check?
Yes, I'm the evaluator. Thank you for the TMOD. Let me read the project
Go ahead, sir. Go
objectives
ahead, sir.
of the Toastmaster Ratika. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker. Toastmaster Ratika is about to deliver her third project from the level 2 from the presentation mastery path. And the project objective of this speech is the purpose of this project is for the members to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. And the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of previous experience as a prodigy. Timer, please note that time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Ratika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. That was a turn turtle mixed up by me. It's a mentor who was me, John, ma'am. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ratika to give a speech. Toastmaster Ratika, $1 million gift. Toastmaster Ratika, $1 million gift. Over to you, Toastmaster.
What is that one gift that you received from mentors slash teachers for being their best mentee slash student? A pen. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Show of hands who have watched the movie Three Idiots. Quite a lot of you. Great. Towards the end, Virus hands over the anti-gravity pen to Rancho, the most extraordinary student he ever met. Grateful to have experienced that feeling once in my life. Let me share that experience with you. I was in 7th grade and my final exams were approaching. One of my classmates' father was our history teacher. On the day of history exam, just before the paper was being distributed, I mocked at her, saying, "You must already know all of the questions, right? After all, your father made the paper." I did not realize that it was a big deal, but because of what I said, she could not write the paper properly. Eventually, she complained to her father, who then complained to that teacher who I admired the most. All of us agree that there's one teacher in school who you always look up to. You always want to be in their good books. And for me, that teacher was Mr. Manoj Kumar Tripathi. When he came to know about this, he came into the class, scolded me in front of the entire class for about 10 to 15 minutes. As if that was not embarrassing enough, he asked me to stand outside the class for the entire day, not just the period, the entire day. After the final bell rang, I went up to him and with a heavy heart, I said, "I'm really sorry, sir. I would never ever repeat this again." Instead of scolding me, he had a big smile on his face. He said, "Words are the most loosely monitored arrows. You should never shoot them at anyone without thinking through." With this, he handed me this Reynolds pen. This is not just a pen, but $1 million gift that reminds me of my mistake and to be compassionate. This event revolutionized my life. This was the first time I had realized what a mentor is and how important it is to have one. According to India, a mentor is an experienced person who advises someone with less experience over a period of time. Technically, all of us can be mentors, but true guidance is like a small torch. It doesn't shoot everything at once, but gives enough light for the next step to be safe. Since then, I have been guided by many mentors, my parents being the most important ones. How they always know what's right for us. Am I right? Quite irritating sometimes, frankly, but they do know what's right for us. My mom knew that I hesitated to speak in front of people, Hence, she had been pestering me to join Toastmasters. Deep down, I knew that I needed it. Hence, I became a member. After joining, I thought, do I have to do this myself? My question was answered within a few days. The then VPE asked me to choose a mentor. He said a mentor would help me to choose my pathways, to prepare my speeches, and to improve my speech delivery. It was a great relief. In 7-8 months of Toastmastering, I have formally found distinguished Toastmaster Nina John as my mentor. She has been helping me with my speech structure and has been pushing me to prepare and practice thoroughly before delivering the speech. Earlier, I used to just prepare for about 2-3 days and I used to deliver the speech during my speech slot. Now, I revise my speech twice, even thrice, and prepare thoroughly before delivering it. I have given away with my habit of procrastinating, not just in Toastmasters, but in my professional and personal life as well. Informally, each and every one of you is a mentor to me. Your feedback is like a return gift after a birthday party. I always look forward to it. You have helped me to improve my content, my style, and my vocal variety. Your feedback is important. Be it a standing ovation after my icebreaker, an evaluation, a timer report, tag report, or as small as an emoticon reaction on the Zoom. It all matters. It did for me. Let me take this opportunity to state an interesting fact. While more than 75 professional men and women want to have a mentor, only 37% actually have one. So, if you have a mentor, consider yourself lucky. I am. Are you? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ratika. It was a very wonderful speech. And what you told about mentors resonated with me a lot. And for middle benchers like me, of course, the $1 million gift is always ever elusive, and we can never get our hands over that. For the next speaker for today, we have Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan. He's a software engineer who works in applied materials India for the past 15 years. He's an electrical engineer by qualification, but a software engineer by profession. Before we have Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan on stage, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Geeta to read out his speech objectives. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayan is giving his project Evaluating and Presenting. To tell you all about the purpose of his speech. The purpose of the speech project is for the member to learn and to review the basic research methods and present a well-organized and a well-structured speech. And it could be on any topic he chooses to give. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Srijan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. I would now like to call upon Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan to present his speech. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, Cloud Raining Possibilities. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. During my childhood days, whenever I see the sky dark in the daytime, I go out and look for the cloud because there are more chances of getting rain and that makes the weather cool and pleasant. So even now when I hear the word cloud, it makes me feel pleasant. But now cloud has another meaning to it pertaining to computing technology, and that's the cloud I'm going to talk about today. Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is a set of services provided over the internet, services like servers, database, data storage. And put it in very simple terms, it's like storing data and retrieving data over the internet instead of storing it in your own hard disk. The whole concept of storing database in the internet makes us feel the data is present somewhere in the middle of the air and somewhere in the cloud, and maybe that's why it's called as cloud. During my initial days of career, that is 20 years back, I bought a desktop with the latest operating system, Windows 95, and I had all the latest softwares like Microsoft Word and Excel. And more than the excitement of using the computer, I was always worried about losing the data. The most important data is my resume. It's because I didn't know how to back up the data. And also the hardwares were not that reliable. It may crash anytime and I'll lose all my data. After some time, I got the high-speed 64 kbps internet connection from BSNL. And the first thing I did was to email all the important documents to my Hotmail account, so that if something crashes to my hard disk and also to my desktop, I can go and retrieve it from any of the internet center. So at that time, Hotmail and Yahoo were the cloud storage for most of us, even before we found the term cloud. So I was researching back on the cloud and what is cloud and what cloud computing technology. Cloud computing is believed to be invented by JCR Leader in the year 1960 when he was working in ARPANET, which is the basis for the modern day internet. The term cloud computing itself was coined by Compaq in the year 1996. With the advancement in the technology, the giants like Microsoft and Google has come up with the cloud storage like Dropbox and Google Drive. And this technology further advanced and moved from cloud computing to cloud storage to cloud computing. So now we have multiple cloud services, and this can be broadly classified into three major categories. They call it as a stack of cloud services, actually. The first one is the infrastructure as service, where we can rent hardware in the form of virtual machines, storage, and the database. And the second one is the platform as a service, where we can rent environment for computing and maintaining our software applications. These two are most widely used by the startups and the mid-sized companies. And the last one is the most widely used by the end users like us, which is software as a service. And this is actually a service provided over the internet for software applications. So the best example for software as a service is the role nomination sheet provided by our VPE, which is actually a Excel sheet that can be accessed by all the members and can be edited by all the members in any of the gadgets like laptop, desktop, or mobile phones, even without having Excel software in their gadgets. Similarly, the Zoom meeting which we are working on is also an example of a cloud computing where the video being recorded is being processed and stored in Zoom cloud. And this can be later downloaded and uploaded to another cloud, YouTube. So as you can see, the cloud computing has greatly reduced the need for investment, procurement, and maintenance of both hardware and softwares, because we can rent all these services from the reliable service providers with less investment and even pay as we go model. So according to the study by ResearchGate, the global cloud computing market was estimated at $321 billion in the year 2019, and it is expected to reach around $1 trillion in 2026. That is in another 5 years. And this research was done just before COVID situation, and now I believe it will go even beyond that. Because with more people working from home, attending online trainings, and the anticipated technology breakthrough in artificial intelligence, IoT, which is all dependent on the cloud as the backbone, because they need to have high-speed data and data processing. So the need for cloud computing is growing multifold, and so also the opportunities. So giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, and even IBM has already started investing for the research and expansion of the cloud computing business. Okay, it's going to help us as end users also. So I just want to give one example of such research. Like the Microsoft has not recently, in 2018, they conducted a pilot project, this codenamed as NATIC, where they set up a data center with 850 servers inside a cylindrical container filled with nitrogen instead of oxygen, and put into seabed under the sea, and then connected to the cloud. They later retrieved this cylinder out of this seabed, and what they concluded from the research is that the failure of the hardware with this kind of data center is much less. It's actually 1/8 of the data server failure compared to the traditional and conventional data centers. And also they save a lot of energy in cooling this data center. So there are draining opportunities from cloud which will help us in day-to-day life as a consumer and also as a business partner. So let's cherish this technology and reap the benefits and make good use of it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, for this very comprehensive take on the topic. Now that we have gone really fast and all the speakers have been very strict on their time schedule, I think before we go on to the table topic session for today, I know the palms have started sweating, but let's take a small break and play a little game. I would like to request all the participants present in the meeting to unmute yourselves and please participate. So it's a small crossword puzzle that we have for today. I would like you all to pitch in and help me solve it. So I would like to share my screen. Please let me know if it's visible. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I would like to start off with the puzzle. You can pitch in as you will. So we'll go step by step. Yes. So I hope it is clear. The image is clear. Does someone want to take a shot at this? It is one down. I didn't get you.
Lizards.
Lizards. I mean, yeah, you're right.
The class. Okay. Reptiles.
Yeah.
Reptiles.
Yeah. So that is a reptile. So we'll move on to the next word. The next word is, yeah, you probably heard about this rivalry much before, and it's very related to the topic of the theme of today.
Hare and the turtle?
It's two down, so it's hare, right? You're right. So yeah, so this is the current status of all the turtles in the world. Who would like to take a shot at this? It's 3 across. It's this box. And you have another usage here too. Yeah.
Vulnerable?
Yes.
Wow. Who was that?
That was a tough one. Yeah. Who was that?
I did that. I'm sorry. I just stopped my ear because I'm coming closer. Perfect. Fantastic.
Yes. So 4 down. So yeah, I didn't make this up for sure. I'm giving a disclaimer. I didn't make this up for sure.
You have the answers with you, right?
Yes, I do. I didn't make this up though. I didn't make this up. I'll give you a starting letter. It's C, R. Please don't Google it. Yeah, but I don't know how you came up with that, but yeah, it is a creep.
Creep.
Okay, so now I would like Toastmaster Rohit to not do this. I know you're this math geek, but please don't contribute to this. I would like someone else to do the math. Or you can just take a blind shot. It's 5 down. Or you can solve that equation. Your wish.
60.
Yes, who was that?
Gopal.
Nice. Okay, so the last penultimate word. Yeah, this is the species which visits our Chennai beaches. If you were a very regular reader of the Hindu...
The olive ridley turtle.
Yes, perfect.
Olive ridley turtle.
All ridleys, yes. The last thing, it's a very sad thing, but it's happening to all many animals and especially turtles.
Extinction.
Perfect. Done. Well done, guys. So that's the end of the crossword. Thank you so much for participating. So for the next high octane session, we have the table topic session. And for today, we have the table topic master.
Srijit, you went on mute.
Sorry about that. I don't know when I went on mute. Yeah. So he's an income tax inspector and an optimist by heart. He's extremely inquisitive and a very new Toastmaster. I would like to hand over the control over to Toastmaster Chirag. Over to you.
Thank you, TMOD, for such a wonderful introduction. Turtles are shy, quiet, and yet they display intelligence. Table topic session is also a way or a session, we can say, to display the intelligence. So I'll start with definition. Table topic session is a session where a TT speaker has to speak for 1 to 2 minutes impromptu for a topic given by TT master, which is me. So what is the objective of table topic session? The objective of table topic session is to drive out stage fear. What are the benefits? Benefits are it will give you a lot of confidence, and it will develop the ability to organize your thoughts quickly. So these are the benefits of table topic session. So before starting the TT session, I'll request timer to show a green card at 1 minute and orange card at 1 minute 30 seconds and a red card at 2 minutes. So let's start with our TT session. So if anyone wants to volunteer, then he or she can tell his or her name. Otherwise, I'll call randomly. So anyone wants to volunteer? Okay, then I'll call by name. First, I would like to call Jimmy Petrus.
Yes, TT Master. Good evening.
So your table topic is which skill you want to learn, and if you acquire that skill, what would you do it? Which skill you want to learn, and if you acquired that skill, what would you do it?
Which skill I want to learn?
Yes.
Yes. Very good evening, table Toastmasters and guests. The major skill which I want to master is public speaking, and that is the whole purpose. I'm here regularly attending Toastmasters meeting, and thank you for this opportunity to participate in the table topic session. So basically, it's about the strength to express yourself to a public. So when we are not able to communicate or convey our idea or our mind to a public or in a forum, that leaves us dejected. So I basically want to overcome that, and I'm actually confident that I have a lot to contribute with my ideas, with my experience. But often I was not able to communicate things because I was not able to express myself, probably because of the stage fear, or probably because not getting the right words at the right time. So, and I must tell the Toastmaster journey since the last 3 years, it has worked wonderfully on me in my personal life and even in my professional life. I am a better professional now. I have had 1 round of promotions also. So going forward, yes, I would like to communicate to a larger audience with my newly acquired skill. If I'm confident addressing a crowd of 500 to 1,000 people, conveying my ideas, if I'm able to make change in their thought process or add value to their thought and life, that will be the most happiest thing which can happen for me as an aspiring public speaker. Thank you very much. And over to you, TT Master.
Thank you, TM Jimmy Petros. Now I would like to have Toastmaster Abhirami.
Yes, Toastmaster Chirag.
Real learning starts outside the classroom. Real learning starts outside the classroom. Toastmaster Abhirami.
Real learning starts outside the classroom. Wasn't this told to us earlier in life, then things would have been a lot easy. We wouldn't have taken so many things seriously. The ranks, the marks, being focused into our books, memorizing formulas, knowing the meaning of words. Most of the time, we get so focused into the learning aspect that we feel that there will always be an equation given to us, and all we need to do is use the equation in a scenario. But once you grow up and start living your life, you will be shocked that no one is going to give you the equation. You will have to sit down and figure out what is the strategy of the equation that you will need to use in your life. Now, the main skill is to learn what is the equation. Now, the men who made these wonderful equations were people who failed at school and who tried making the bulb 1,000 times and did all the crazy things and were called dropouts. But now we don't have the courage to do all that. We try to follow the middle path of being a part inside the classroom, a part outside. Now, when you come into Toastmasters, this is again one of the learnings that you will have. Yes, you have a project objective, you have many materials available, but still reading them is not going to make you a great speaker. But the ability to come on stage and understand the fact that when you're talking at that moment, you will still feel nervous. You will feel that the other person, seeing you on stage knows that you're feeling nervous. All these kind of questions that comes in your mind. And as you keep speaking, you will realize that these feelings are normal and eventually you will start enjoying the process. So the true learning is really outside the classroom, outside the books, and out there at Toastmasters. Thank you. Over to you, TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami. It was a wonderfully organized and explained. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Frank.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, TT Master Chirag.
Okay, so your topic is a nickname. Tell me a nickname of yours and how you got it. Tell me a nickname of yours and how you got it. Toastmaster Frank.
So, people call me Frankie. So, the name comes after my actual name, which is Frank George. Since Frankie is quite a common and a nice way to say. So it basically comes from the cartoon Frankie, and there's also a food item called Frankie, which a lot of people like, which is a snack that you can have. So that's all from me.
Thank you, TM John.
I would like to take up the opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So for Toastmaster John, we have one topic. Tell us about a childhood memory. Tell us about a childhood memory of yours, Toastmaster John.
Childhood memory. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. My childhood memory, I still remember, is speaking in front of audience. I love public speaking. I personally feel that this skill is born with me. But what I remember when I was 12 years old, I had much confidence and I was about to speak about Gandhiji on his birthday. My school, they have organized a contest. It's a public speaking contest. And I was about to speak about Gandhiji and my mother was sitting in front. She is occupied the first row, and she was so proud of me. She think that I'm going to get the first prize. But when the teenage is going to hit you, that you started feeling embarrassing, standing in front of people and delivering your speech, right? So it hit me as well. And I was on stage and I'm about to deliver my speech, but I was completely blanked out. And I was seeing everyone. I stopped. I don't know what I'm going to deliver. But one person I was seeing is right in front of me is my mother. And she was so embarrassed because she was so proud of me and she was just boasting about me, the person sitting next to her. And that was the moment I will never forget. But mom, I still remember I embarrassed you, but don't worry, I joined Toastmaster because I want to just hone my public speaking skill, and I have received so many awards and ribbons, and I'm your proud son. Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. Back to you, TT.
Thank you, Toastmaster John. It was a wonderfully explained that how you have put the emotions in the speech.
Thank you.
Now, can we have a guest, Vishnu, please?
Hi, TT Master. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about your favorite book.
Book.
Yes, Vishnu.
Yeah. So far, so apart from the school or college books, the only book that I have completed fully is even I couldn't remember the book name. It was the it was The Alchemist. So it was I have never read the book, and I have never had the confidence that I will complete a book and keep that passion, keep that interest in me, and continue reading that book. But when I started reading Alchemist, it was something else. It was like I not only liked the story, but also I started feeling like how people really get connected to the nature, and when they have that intention to achieve something, how nature can help them. That really struck me like something. And yeah, that I even spent hours at night, like I even burn night oils to complete that book. I just completed the book in a week, and yeah, it was nice. It was a nice experience reading and completing the book. Yeah, so that was the only book that really inspired me, and that really helped me until I finished the book. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Over to TT Master.
Thank you, guest Vishnu. Even I have started reading books by The Alchemist, so we have in common this thing. So, can we have a Toastmaster Nina John?
Yes, TT Master.
Why self-love is not selfish? Why self-love is not
Self-love
selfish?
is not selfish.
Toastmaster Nina John.
Every time I look at Facebook, every time I look at all those WhatsApp forwards, I end up getting thoroughly confused because they say you should be motivated, you should be selfless, you should think about other people, all of those things. And then there's another clutch of forwards which says, no, think about yourself first. Be good to yourself. Self-love is the most important. And I'm like, which one do I worry about? And many of you may have seen this viral forward of the lady with an oxygen generator standing and cooking in the kitchen. And that I realized is what this is all about. When you think about other people to the extent where you're sacrificing yourself, where you're sacrificing your physical, emotional, and other things, just thinking about other people, my family, my this, my that, you are not doing any favors to them or to you. Take care of yourself. Read the books that you want, get into the kind of exercises or hobbies or whatever that make life meaningful for you. Keep some time for yourself, do something that you like and that gives you satisfaction. There's a whole lot of things out there in this world. Could be painting, it could be hobbies, it could be just chatting up friends. In this COVID day and age, actually ringing up friends and chatting to them is a service that you can do for other people because nobody is connecting any other way. So I think in many, many ways, self-love in the sense of protecting yourself, making sure that you your body, your mind, your soul are well nourished, if that is what self-love is all about, yes, take care of yourself, and then you will be able to take care of others in many, many, much more meaningful ways. Back to you, TT Master.
Thank you, TM Nina John, for such an insightful view for self-love. Now, can we have guest Krishna, please?
Oh, yes, we can.
Tell us about your favorite TV show.
TV show.
Guest Krishna.
Wonderful topic. I don't watch much of TV anyway. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'm a guest today, so I'm just wishing myself. It's just habitual that I just wish the guest. And the only TV show I watch is probably the news channel. Apart from that, I don't really watch TV. Maybe it might sound a little weird, but actually that is the fact. Apart from that, there's only other ways. What I actually watch is probably serials. Because of the lockdown, I think we are used to this Amazon Prime and Netflix, now those extra things. Apart from that, there's nothing much I actually watch about. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Krishna. Now, can we have Toastmaster Nadira Faiz?
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
If I were an animal, I would be dash. If I were an animal, I would be. Toastmaster Nadira Faiz.
Okay, so I actually heard the topic as if I were anyone. Okay, I did not want to hear you saying if I were an animal. So I'm going to modify your topic just a little bit, and I'm going to tell you who I might want to be like. So just good evening, fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. I'm Toastmaster Nadira Faiz. And to tell you in one line about who I really am, I'm the mentee of Toastmaster Venu Neelakantan. So all of you know who he is, and he's a man of many mentees, as we all know. So if I were to be like anyone, I would want to be more like him. The way his style of speaking, the style of leadership that he has is something which I find leaps and bounds. And when I found Toastmaster Ratika talking about the mentor of mentors, and the evaluation is being done by the evaluator of all mentors also, I found that it was in some way Toastmaster Venu will come up in my speech. So I twisted the topic to a way where I could bring my mentor into a light. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and back to the table topic master.
Thank you, TM Nadira Faiz. It was wonderful. Now, can we have any volunteer, please? Or I would like to call guest Geeta S. Okay. Can we have guest Siddheshwar? Is any hello? Anyone available? Okay, can we have any other volunteer, please?
Hello?
Hello? Is anyone available? Okay, guest K. Your topic is, please tell us about any cartoon character which you liked. Any cartoon character which you like.
My favorite cartoon character is Tom.
Speak about Tom.
Tom is a very timid cat. He always used to chase Jerry, and finally he gets defeated by Jerry. And he's a very timid cat. He always gets beaten up by Spike. Spike is a dog.
Okay. Actually, we all have grown up watching Tom and Jerry. So we are all of us favorite cartoon is Tom and Jerry, one of the favorite cartoons. So any other volunteer? Otherwise, I have to repeat the role players who have already played. Okay, Toastmaster Naveen Raj. Can we have? Tell us about a moment which changed your life. Moment which changed your life. Toastmaster Naveen Raj.
Changed my life. Yeah, correct?
A moment that changed your life.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. On a fine day, I sat down and yeah, think about my life. On that time, my brother sent me a message. I
Toastmaster Naveen, you're not very audible.
eagerly waiting to view that message. Then at that time, he sent me the address of a one place. Then it was a perfect place for my career growth and a public speaking skills also. Then I went to the house place and waiting for the guy. Then at the time I saw many members. At the time I saw many members came to that place with warm welcome and speaking to everyone with a good culture. Then that the place is nothing but our CTM phone house. Then at that time I saw it was a good place to for the great learning. And at that time I started my learning style, public speaking style on that place, even though I am still here to improve myself with our fellow Toastmasters. Over to you, PT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen Raj, for wonderfully explanation. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank clutch of Toastmaster speakers who all have participated. Now, Toastmaster timer, can you tell me all the TT speakers are qualified? Timer, are you there?
Yeah.
Can we have timer, please? So, can you tell me
Yeah,
all the
my
TT speakers
net
have
connection
qualified?
was unstable, so I could not hear you. Can you repeat once again?
Can you tell us all the TT speakers are qualified?
Can you just type it in the chat box? I'm still not able to hear you. My connection is unstable right now.
Okay,
Toastmaster Chirag, I think we can proceed with the meeting. I hope the Sergeant at Arms is following up on the timer. We are at the end of the table topic session. It was a wonderful session with a lot of wonderful speakers and with guests taking their first steps. It was amazing to see. It's always hard. It's not easy for any of us here. I'm still finding it hard right now. And I'm really disappointed that we won't know what animal Nadira fires would be. I hope we might get to know that in the future. So, I would like to call upon the General Evaluator. So this session of our Toastmasters meet is the most integral part of the meeting. Evaluation is where we reflect over what we've done and we improve. And this is very, very crucial in going forward and upward. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, TMD Toastmaster Srijit. So we had the opportunity to hear 4 fabulous speeches today, and let's see what the evaluators feel about the speeches, where the speeches could improve, what could make your speech even more awesome. The first speech we had listened to Toastmaster Rohit. Toastmaster Rohit will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rekha. Toastmaster Rekha is a CEO of a corporate company which she founded called Kalpattaru Consulting, which is into project management. She is also passionate about books and likes to read movies. After working for 20 years in corporate company, and she found a true calling, which is to teach others. Toastmaster Rekha, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster Rohit, your title of your speech being Think About Tomorrow, with your speech, you definitely made us think about tomorrow. Let me say what I like the most in your speech. Excellent opening. You did start with a quote, and I was just thinking this is a very common quote. Why he brought in this quote? But immediately you well connected what can be the thought process of the audience, and you said you feel boring, right? This is a very common opening. That was excellent, and continued by which you asked questions. Is your future secured? You must be thinking about your medical expenses or your college or the school fees. So you actually were able to connect with the audience. When you started with those questions, I actually sat alert to hear what is your speech about, because it connected with me, and I'm sure it connected with every audience. And the next point which I love the most is your topic is very relevant to the current scenario, and it connected with every audience, or I would say every human being. And the third one which I liked is you did not only specify the problem, but also you gave the solutions or the suggestions how you can address to secure your future. Now, having said what I like the most, I would like to share how your speech can be made from good to great or from better to good. When I read your speech objective, one of the highlighted point for the evaluator is to check the organization of your speech. So the speech organization has to be generally opening, which has to be a captivating one, which you did well, and a body to convey your message, and a conclusion to reinforce your message, and there should be a smooth transition in the speech. So when it comes to the structure, I think you can do a much better job, because how you had is you spoke about the problem, solution, and again the problem and the solution. So the problem and the solution were mixed up. Instead, if you would have shared all the problem, why your expenses are more or how we are not securing our future, and then you would have highlighted the solutions, then it would have stayed back. So you could have concluded saying that you could have concluded your speech by reiterating the message, and also by giving 2-3 pointers on how the audience can secure their future. Now, as an audience, after I listening to the speech, I really couldn't recollect what are the suggestions you made for me to secure my future, to reduce my expenditure, or to save it. So if your conclusion could have been much stronger to convey the message to the audience. So your general purpose of persuading the audience is very good, but your specific purpose of what is the call for action was not clear, or rather it was not clearly presented. So to conclude, your speech had a good opening, a relative topic, and it had suggestions. You could have work on your speech structure little more better. With this, I hand over to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha, for the elaborate evaluation. The next prepared speaker was Toastmaster Satya Raj. Toastmaster Satya Raj is going to be evaluated by a passionate public speaker, and he also loves to do a lot of gardening. He shared a small incident, a very interesting incident from his childhood days. When he was in 3rd standard in EWAT school, when the entire school, there was pin drop silence, he started to whistle loudly. And for this adventure, he was dragged to the principal room and got whacked badly. This is one incident he will never forget in his life. Please put your hand to welcome Toastmaster Shrikant Krishnan to evaluate Toastmaster Satya Raj.
Thank you, General Evaluator. there are many ways that you can start evaluation speech. I think I would start with a quote. Self-trust is the first secret to success. And that is exactly what I got from listening to Toastmaster Satya Raj. His opening was perfect. It was like a launch of a rocket. Instead of a takeoff, it was landing. 3, 2, 1. That was very interesting. And also the way he carried himself forward right from his birth to who he is right now was chronologically arranged and well structured. Being an average student in his academics during his primary and higher secondary school, there was a transformation that we saw in him when he came to his UG. And also the funniest thing was that how he got admission into the school, where the principal who was interviewing him wanted him to touch his left ear with his right arm right behind his head. Wow, that was one way they used to make sure that the child was 3 years old in those days. Having said that, Satya Raj is a multifaceted and multi-talented person. Not only that he was successful in his academic, he had a passion towards what he wanted to do in his life. So he got a job, which was reasonably, it was pittance according to him. But he got a job where they were paying him more, but that was not really his passion. That is not what he wanted to do in his life. He quit that and he started pursuing his passion. All these are something which makes Satya Raj such an interesting person. And not only that, he's also a passionate organic fertilizer using agriculturist. He wants to do organic farming. Well, that's one incident that most of the IT people, most of them who have made a lot of money are quitting a job and taking up this organic farming. So that brings a different kind of a personality of Satya Raj, from a corporate world to becoming a person that he really wanted. And his family life is such wonderful. He has such loving wife who takes care of the home, and also he has a child. So Satya Raj, all this tell us what you are really. We got a fair idea. The entire club which was listening to you have an idea of who you are. And not only that, seeing you speak without any nervousness. You were so fluent. You never had that anxiety on your face. You came up with all that you wanted to say. So that was one thing that I really liked. If there is something that I need you to work upon, as this is being your first speech, an icebreaker, the one suggestion that I would give you is the basics of a good speech is already there in you. I want you to keep speaking at different clubs. Wherever you get an opportunity to speak, there are a lot of opportunities around us. You can speak in your company, you can speak in social gathering, you can speak in civic organization. Wherever you get a chance, start speaking, and you will see how transformative and how better speaker you're going to become. I'm sure you will do that, and you would be one of the great speakers that I always love to evaluate. To sum up my speech, beautiful presentation. We know you. Keep speaking, and you can go to greater heights. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth, for a fabulous evaluation yet again. So the next prepared speaker we have is Toastmaster Ratika, who is going to evaluate by yet another veteran Toastmaster. He is a passionate Toastmaster and a mentor to many people, not only in CTM, but also outside CTM. And he is a club coach and mentor for another Toastmaster club called Downtown Speakers Forum. Please put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Venu to evaluate Toastmaster Ratika.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker. I'm really happy to see all the mentees are in the mood to glorify all the mentors. That's really a good sign. Toastmaster Ratika, having noticed today, before you start your speech, the power of your mentor, that's CTM Nina, was so obvious. We can see it even in TMOD's role play. That's the power of mentor. I can say that many Toastmasters are joining nowadays, many new members are joining. But only a few are carry on the passion and become a good speaker. I can proudly say that you are one among the best speaker, you are the one among the passionate Toastmaster. I want to justify it, right? Today's speech is the right example for that. Because throughout the speech, we are so confident, cool and composed, with an amicable facial expression. That's actual requirement for the good speaker. So you have it, keep on that. So as far as your speech is today, speech is concerned, the objective of your speech is just share your experience as a prodigy. You did well. Because the first you explained, you gave the definition for what is a mentoring is. Just said that it's a senior Toastmaster or experienced persons teaching a less experienced person. Then you brought some statistics. That's really awesome, because the first time I am hearing a statistic in a mentoring, just only 37 people can have the mentor, even though many people are struggling. So then you brought some clutch of mentors in your life, your parents, your teacher, and the story behind the pen and how it impacted. And then you start talking about DTM Nina, how she helped you in Toastmasters. So overall, you made it very clear this speech is all about mentoring, and you fulfill all the project objectives. So there's no doubt this is one of the good speech. Any good speech, there is a room for improvement, because good is always the enemy of the best. I have two suggestions. The first one is the content. Means throughout your speech, you were talking about the mentor, how DTM Nina helped you. It's all so generic in the sense, yeah, she helped you, she was pushing you to give a lot of speeches, and she helped you to develop your content. That's all the mentors are doing. That's what a mentor is supposed to do. But specifically, if you had stated something, with some specific examples, that would have impacted on this speech. That's the first one. The second one is the technical issue you're always having, not the first time. That's audibility. Because throughout your speech, your voice had been little low to follow. I literally struggled. I had to put some effort to follow your speech. Don't expect that every audience will do the same thing. Sometimes they ignore. They would not put some effort to listen to your speech. So ensure that your voice is reaching your audience. With that improvement points, I reiterate that you are one of the best speakers in CTM. Please keep moving and reach the one. I am damn sure that you will become one day the champion speaker. All the best. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu, for such an all-round evaluation of Ratika. The next speaker is our cloud speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, who literally took us into the world of cloud computing. To evaluate Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, we have another Madam Toastmaster, Toastmaster Geeta. She believes that with hard work, dedication, and efforts and integrity, success will always follow. So success is just a byproduct of these things. So don't worry about it. Keep working hard, and it will one day will reach you. The floor is here, Toastmaster Geeta, to evaluate Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nanda. And good evening, everybody, once again. And a special good evening to Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, who is completing his level 1 by giving this speech. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, that you had titled your speech as Cloud, the Reigning Possibilities. And trust me, it kept me into thinking that what you would be speaking about. But the moment we saw the beautiful, soothing blue backdrop, I knew what you're going to talk about. That was very beautiful indeed. And it really kept us giving a lot of thought to it. That was really wonderful on your part. The second commendation that I would like to give is the topic that you had chosen today. You have chosen the most relevant topic, which most of us are using more and more, the cloud storage. We were using it earlier also, but today with this pandemic, our usage has become more. And in the process, we also learned a lot about the cloud storage. We learned how the three kinds of cloud storage facilities that are available to us. And we also learned the amount of money they are making, how much the cloud storage in competing industry is worth. I think you said something like $1 trillion. This was just before the pandemic had begun, which means it would have increased by now. And in the process, we also learned about who the founder was and what are the amazing things that the cloud storage can do to us. You also told us about the personal kind of a feeling when you first heard about the cloud storage. And you also related to, we could relate a lot with you when you talked about the Hotmail and the Yahoo thing, kind of a thing, and the fear that was associated when it came to losing our data. This was just before we could hear about the cloud storage. So there was some personal input which we could really relate to with. And in the process, you have achieved your this is your third commendation. In the process, you have achieved your speech objectives that require you to do research and then present the speech in front of the audience. And this was quite informative also. Coming to the recommendation part, like just now, earlier evaluator Toastmasters Venu said, every good speech can have a scope for improvement. So here are a few things which I would like to tell you. The first thing is, I felt the speech was a bit monotonous. Probably we could have enjoyed more if there was a sprinkle of humor in your speech. For instance, when you first heard about the cloud storage, you said, what is this going to do? Is our data going to hang somewhere in the clouds? So you could have said it little in a humorous way. Why have they named it cloud? Is it because it's going to hang somewhere amidst the clouds? I really am curious to know about it. You could have made it something special. Moreover, you also told us that the cloud is offering us a lot of possibilities and helping us a lot. But are they really charging us for the services that they're offering to us? Maybe you could have specified that. And you also told us that it's making about $1 trillion. And this was just before the pandemic. I would like to know what exactly is the currently the global industry, its worth in the global industry. Maybe if you can implement these possibilities, you can take it to a higher level. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, for a very all-round evaluation. It's time to move on to the tag team report. Let me call upon timer Ayush Jain to present his timer report. Ayush Jain, the floor is yours.
Hi. The Courtmaster took 1 minute 10 seconds. The idiom master took Toastmaster Ashwini took 46 seconds. The evaluated Toastmaster Rekha for Toastmaster Rohit took 38 seconds. Prepared speech won by Toastmaster Rohit was for 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Evaluator Srikanth Krishnan for Icebreaker of Toastmaster Satya Raj was for 22 seconds. Toastmaster Satya Raj took 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Toastmaster Venu took 33 seconds. Toastmaster Ratika took 6 minutes and 8 seconds for a prepared speech. Evaluated Toastmaster Geeta took 27 seconds. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan spoke for 6 minutes and 55 seconds. The table topics table topic speaker Jimmy Patros spoke for 1 minute and 55 seconds. Table topic speaker Toastmaster Abhirami spoke for 1 minute and 28 seconds. Table topic speaker Frank George spoke for 34 seconds. Table topic speaker John spoke for 1 minute and 40 seconds. Table topic speaker Vishnu Kumar spoke for 1 minute and 2 seconds. Table topic speaker Neena John spoke for 1 minute and 58 seconds. Table speaker Krishna spoke for 55 seconds. Toastmaster Nadia Fez spoke for 1 minute and 14 seconds. Table topic speaker Guest K spoke for 32 seconds. Table topic speaker Naveen Raj spoke for 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now evaluators. Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha spoke for 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Evaluator Shrikant Kuttikrishnan spoke for 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Venu spoke for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Geeta spoke for 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ayush. It's the time to hear the R counter report. To present the R counter report, let me welcome Toastmaster Vignesh. Toastmaster Vignesh, it is yours.
Yes, Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster of the day, Srijit used 3 plus R and 2 so, and repeating words very he used one time. Toastmaster Ashwini took used 2 R, 1 so. Toastmaster Rekha used 2 R's, used and 3 times in a consecutive sentence. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan used 3 plus R, 3 plus so, repeating words similarly. Toastmaster Chirag used 3 plus R, 1 2 so. Toastmaster Jimmy used 3 plus R, 1 and 1 so. Toastmaster Frank used 3 plus R, 1 Toastmaster John used 2 R. Guest Vishnu Kumar used 3 plus R. Guest Krishna used 2 R. Guest K used 3 plus R. Toastmaster Naveen Raj unable to hear the audio properly, so cannot count the R's. Toastmaster Venu used 2 R. Toastmaster Geeta used 3 plus R. Timer Ayush used 3 plus R. Except the speakers, others are prepared well. They clutch their content really well. That is my report, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vignesh, for the R counter report. Let me call upon Toastmaster Mugil to present the grammarian report. Toastmaster Mugil, stage is yours.
Often we pick up the quirks of people around us. And I remember Toastmaster Vignesh speaking in his Icebreaker Speech when he said that what you become depends on who you surround yourself with. As I was noting down the use of grammar and phrases today, it got me thinking all that we listen to in the Toastmasters session every week gives us a lot of new words to play around with. And we unknowingly or knowingly pick up these and start using them. And I have a huge list of phrases that I picked out through the meeting, which I really like. There were quite a few words used by Toastmaster Srijit, like humdrum, fascinated and obsessed, chasing humanity, high octane session. And these phrases conveyed the intensity of what he was trying to say at any given point. And Toastmaster Rohit used words like marred and ingrained mindset in his speech. And Toastmaster Ratika said, use phrases like to be in their good books. It's a simple phrase, but we just the usage of it. And something I really like that was used by Toastmaster Ratika was comparing words to loosely monitored arrows. And that was a powerful message. And other words that were used were amicable and words like dejected and leaps and bounds, mentor of mentors, and sprinkle humor. And all of these words were amazing words used throughout the meeting. And to add the cherry on top, the word of the day was used beautifully by DTM Nina ma'am when she said clutch of forwards, and also by Toastmaster Venu sir when he said clutch of mentors. In any meeting, we also have opportunity to grow, and a few items. I just have two, but very small items which I think can be used better next time. One would say you had much confidence or you were confident rather than saying had much confidence. And while saying listen you would say listen to someone's speech rather than listen your speech. These I picked out these two because I think they might be more frequently used, and we can probably work on those. So that's all, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mugil, for the comprehensive grammarian report. This is time to submit my general evaluation report. The agenda was circulated well in advance, I guess by Saturday morning itself, and the meeting started exactly at 4 p.m. We had a very interesting quote to start with. Success is 99%, failure. And the quote master also shared life story of Honda, the founder of Honda Corporation, and it resonated well with the audience. The idiom master, Toastmaster Ashwini, shared a very interesting idiom which is in line with the theme of the meeting, which is turn turtle. And she gave some few examples of the usage of the word, which was like resonated well. And we had 4 fabulous prepared speech sessions today. The first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Rohit, gave a very relative a speech which is very relevant to our times, which is spend what is left after you save for your future. And he gave some examples, the story of his own like helper who used to do much of saving, and the speech was like well crafted and well received by the audience. And the next speech was by Toastmaster Satya Raj, who spoke this icebreaker speech. So the way he started the speech about countdown was really good, and then the conclusion of the connecting everything was well presented. The third speaker, Toastmaster Ratika, $1 million gift. She shared different mentors in her life and how every mentor in her life makes a difference in her life and how we need to cherish them. It was again well crafted speech. The fourth speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, even before he started speaking, the background was captivating. He actually had a cloud in the background with applications hanging from the cloud, which had an instant connect with the audience. I loved it. And the speech was also well researched, where he walked through the different aspects of cloud computing, and it was like a very, it was like wearing a YouTube presentation on the topic. Very well done. We had a fabulous TT session by the Toastmaster, TT Master Chirag. One feedback on the table topic session is that when you call upon senior Toastmasters, you can probably think about more difficult or challenging topic. This way, the people will have an opportunity to learn from them how they are tackling those topics. And when you call upon like juniors, it's fine. You can give like easy topics, or for the guest, it's also fine. But when you call really senior people, probably giving them a challenging topic will be a definite opportunity for others to learn how they take on the topic. And coming to the evaluation session, all evaluators did a fabulous job of like thread-bearing whatever speech they listened to. One general feedback to all the evaluators is like you need to balance out both commendations and recommendations. I could see many evaluators were doing more commendations, like because you have 2 to 3 minutes only for evaluation, but almost 2.5 minutes if you are taking commendations, then the feedback you give to the speaker might be more relevant. The speaker would be more interested to know more about the recommendations as well, because that is where that helps them to grow to become a better version of themselves. So evaluators, please balance out the commendation and the recommendations to all the speakers. That is one feedback I have. And then we had reports by the timer. The timer and R counter were just reading out the report, but earlier we used to have a template where they used to share in a PPT format or Excel format of different timings and different R errors, etc. That format was really good, and people could have just looking at the screen itself, they could know what went well and what did not went well. We did not follow that format today, so maybe I will request all future role players to go back to that format. That's really well connect well with everyone in the meeting. And I special appreciation for grammarian. She beautifully noted down all the occurrences of great usages and good usages, and did present it very well. Overall, it was a fabulous meeting. I loved every moment of it. Looking forward to the next meeting, meeting number 779. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sridhar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. It was a very, very wonderful evaluation session. Very, very comprehensive. I loved it. And yes, I would like to call today's evaluation session a fairy tale one. Everyone had a lot of commendations. So as the SAA posts the polls for today, I would like to take this opportunity to call to action amongst us fellow Toastmasters. So it is pretty now well established that turtles are wonderful creatures, and their existence goes back to 200 million years. To put it into perspective, that's when dinosaurs were walking on the face of the earth. It's a privilege for us to walk amongst these wonderful creatures. I'm calling it privilege because these are going extinct. It is a very, very sad story, but these are going extinct, and we could do something about it, and we should do something about it. The chances for these creatures surviving in nature by itself is very, very bleak, around 1 in 1,000. But the human activities that we have been doing so far has made it far, far worse. So what do we do about it? The entire situation looks very bleak, and it feels like it is out of bounds for us to do anything about it. So what do we do about it? I believe that each and every step reveals a new horizon. So let us stop looking at this entirely big picture and look at the small thing which is happening around us. We don't have to look far. We can look at our own backyard. The entire stretch from Kovalam to the other end of Chennai. So this is a nesting ground for these olive ridley turtles. These turtles are extremely endangered and have been breeding here for millions of years. By millions, we can't even imagine such bounds. So what do we do about it? So there's a very small organization which deals with the nesting of these turtles. They are called the Student Sea Turtle Conservation Network and has been operating in and around Chennai for over 50 years. So what do we do about this? And what does this organization do? They take the eggs that these turtles put in the beaches, and they take them, they let them hatch, and they make sure that they return back to the sea safely. What happens in the sea is pretty bleak, of course, but what we can do as individuals, we can ensure that this process goes on smoothly. So I would like to call upon each and every Toastmasters as a responsible part of humanity to take forward this notion in conserving these very beautiful creatures. I would like to drop the link for this organization in the chat box below. And I would like to ask you all to enlighten yourself. This is a small step in each and everyone can take for the betterment of these creatures. And with this, I would like to come to the end of my evaluation. I would like to call upon the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhilash. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Srijit, for having conducted the session, the entire meeting proceedings in a wonderful manner. Kudos. So now it's time for us to receive guest introductions and feedback. We do have a few guests with us today. The first one up, we have guest Geeta. Guest Geeta, are you here, please? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
We are not able to hear you properly. Hello. All right. Let guest Geeta come back with her connections. Next, we have guest Gopal with us today. Gopal, could you unmute yourself and introduce you and also tell us how you liked the meeting today?
Hi, Abhilash.
Hi, Gopal. Happy to have you with us.
Yeah, can you see me? I have just connected through my mobile.
Yes,
So
we can see you and you're audible. Perfect.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so like I was doing a Google search of going through a training session of public speaking and improving my articulating skills. And I've been working with Fidelity. One of my senior vice president suggested me that I should go to training with Toastmasters. So I just Googled it and I got the number from Google. So I got Jagdish's number. So he gave me the link. So I just was wondering about the quality of information and the skills which would be undergoing this training. So I was surprised seeing the quality of training conducted over such a short span of time of 2 hours, where the speakers give a detailed about their topics. Then there is an evaluation. Then there is timekeeping. Then there is a quality check on grammar and the other parameters. So I feel it's really impressed, considering a very short span of entire process.
Thank you so much, Gopal. It's been a pleasure. Do come for our meetings. Thank you once again. Next, can we have guest Ranjit?
Yes.
Hi, Ranjit. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
So, Ranjit, tell us a little bit about yourself and also about our meeting today.
Yeah, actually, I will tell myself first. I'm looking for this kind of meeting actually to learn some kind of knowledge about this one. And I went through Facebook with the help of Lakshmi Narayanan sir. I got this meeting invitation, and I'm very happy to see this kind of meeting is happening. And there is a more opportunity for me to reduce more grammatical mistake and more things kind of feel. I hope I will reduce this kind of things, and I'm very happy for attending this meeting.
Thank you, Srijit. Do please come for more sorry, thank you, Ranjit. Come in for more meetings. Really happy to have you with us today. Thank you once again. Guest Siddheshwar. Hello. All right. I think guest Siddheshwar will join us a bit later. Vishnu Kumar. Guest Vishnu Kumar.
Hi, Abhilash.
Hi, Vishnu Kumar. Tell us a little bit about yourself and also, come on.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, hello everyone. Good evening, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Well, actually, I'm a Vignesh. I'm a colleague of our counter Vignesh, and this is my first time joining. Attending a Toastmaster meeting. I work as a software engineer at Qualcomm, and I joined this Toastmaster club looking forward to just get rid of my fear of delivering the right content. I just get nervous about the delivering the right content whenever I meet some audience. I don't think it is the stage fear. I believe I overcome the stage fear, but it is the thing about delivering the right content to the audience and make them encourage and let my voice heard by them. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Most welcome. So thank you, Vishnu Kumar. Most welcome to attend all our meetings once again. So guest Geeta, are you there now? Hello. All right. So let's proceed. So we have two new members with us. So I would like to, of course, hear from them as well today. First up, Toastmaster John.
Hello, Abhilash, can you hear me clearly? Just give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. What do you want me to tell?
Come on, sir.
Could you please repeat the question?
So this is good. This was your first meeting. Do introduce yourself to us a little bit, and then you can also tell us how today's meeting was.
Okay, my name is Johnson. My friends call me John. You can call me John or JK because my full name is Johnson Kuthavingam. So a few of my friends call me JK and few call me John. I have been a Toastmaster for the past 3 years. I belong to TMCS, one of the oldest and biggest clubs in Singapore. I think you have heard about Manoj Vasudevan, right? 2017 World Champion of Public Speaking. So he belongs to my club and sometimes he mentors me. So it's a privilege to work with such a big legends, and I have learned a lot from them. And I have a proficiency in both effective coaching and leadership development, and I'm learning a lot. I have joined this Toastmasters, Chennai Toastmasters, because I'm coming back to Chennai. I was planning to bring back my wife to Singapore, but unfortunately during this COVID situation, I cannot bring them back. So it's my turn to come back to Chennai. So you already heard a term called once a cop is always a cop, right? So I want to just change the quote to once a Toastmaster is always a Toastmaster. So that's why I'm joining the Toastmasters, Chennai Toastmasters Club. And I'm looking forward to learn from you all. That's what I can say. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Abhilash.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster John. It's a pleasure having you join our family. I'm sure we are all going to have a fruitful journey. Thank you. Next, Frank, Toastmaster Frank.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is my first time attending a Toastmaster meeting,
and I've joined the meeting to improve my communication skills. And I found this meeting to be very useful. And I was also not expecting to actually participate in the very first meeting, but this club was really, different, and I had an opportunity to actually participate. And I'm looking forward to attending the meetings and improving my communication skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Do join in. Definitely, you will be requested to play more roles and develop. That is the objective of every Toastmaster club. So all the best for your journey ahead. Thank you once again. So now let us move on to the closing session of the meeting. So before we go to the results, we do have a lot of first time role players today. So I will read out everyone and request you all to give a huge round of applause for them. I'll start off. So our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Srijit, was performing his role for the first time today. Our timer Toastmaster Ayush was again a first time role player today. Grammarian Toastmaster Mugil, a first time role player. Our quote and idiom masters, Toastmasters Gopal and Toastmaster Ashwini, were first time role players, and our TT master, table topic master as well today, Toastmaster Chirag, was a first time role player. Congratulations, everyone. You all did a fantastic job today. And now, so we have a few milestones as well. So Toastmaster Ratika has completed her level 2 in her pathways today. So please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Ratika. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan has finished his level 1 pathways today. So again, a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan. Congratulations. And as is our custom, so we had an icebreaker speech today, Toastmaster Satya Raj. Request you all to please stand up from your places and give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Satya Raj for having delivered a fantastic icebreaker today.
And unmute everyone.
Please unmute yourself and give a huge round of applause. So thank you, everyone. It's now time for us to declare the results for today's meeting. So let us start off. The best quote or idiom master for today goes to our idiom master for the day, Toastmaster Ashwini. Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Ashwini. Our best tag team for today, timer, our counter, grammarian, goes to our grammarian, Toastmaster Mugil, for being very innovative and catching very good uses, and as well highlighting the not so good usages. Congratulations, Toastmaster Mugil. Our best role player for today, the person who conducted the entire meeting in such a smooth manner. Congratulations, Toastmaster Srijit, a first time role player. It didn't look like first time, so I should say congratulations. The best evaluator for today. I'm sure it would have been a tough choice for everyone with such quality evaluations, but in the battle of the best, Toastmaster Ratika is the best evaluator for today. Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Ratika. Our best table topic speaker for today, a person who has spent her time cultivating her impromptu skills by speaking to our guests. So VPM Toastmaster Abhirami is the best table topic speaker for today. Congratulations, Toastmaster Abhirami. And the best speaker for today, starting off on an excellent note, is our icebreaker speaker for today. Toastmaster Satya Raj is the best speaker for today. Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Satya Raj. Congratulations, all winners and all role players. A fantabulous job today. We had a really well par-packed meeting. And on this note, I would like to adjourn meeting 107-78 to next week, Sunday, same time, 4 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Let us now meet for our informal session.